Hi there, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what is the actual meaning of Bitcoin. And I'm not going to only talk about should you invest your money in Bitcoin or not going to predict what's the price going to look like in future, but also I'm going to talk about in the real world how Bitcoin actually works. So by the end of this video, my goal is that you understand the clear meaning of Bitcoin and you have clear understanding should you invest your money in Bitcoin or not. And the interesting fact about Bitcoin is that it was introduced in 2008 and that time the price of the Bitcoin was in pennies. It was not even $1 and fast forward today in 2024, the Bitcoin price is more than $50,000. But until now, there was one thing common in the money. So the money was controlled by the central government and people deposit their cash in the bank. So bank had control over the money. And the cash is also unlimited. Like government can print unlimited cash if they want. And which in past we have seen that government start printing more money and that cause inflation in the economy as well. So now almost all your money is in the bank and government has control over your money, and bank has also control, like they can lend your money to anybody else and then earn the interest rate. Bitcoin is basically the first decentralized currency in the world. Like it's the first currency that government have no control over it. The banks don't have to do anything about it. And if you want to send your money, if let's say if you're sitting in Canada, you want to send your money in Australia, you can do it without any middleman. Like no government or no bank's gonna know where you send your money. Transactions are even very fast than the banks. Like banks take 3 to 5 business days, but the maximum Bitcoin transaction take is 1 hour, and most of the transactions are done not even in 10 minutes. So decentralization was the first benefit of Bitcoin, and another benefit of the Bitcoin is transparency. Like everybody, even a normal people like you and me, have access to the Bitcoin transactions. Like it doesn't reveal the personal information of the person, but anybody can see how much the Bitcoin transaction was. So basically when the Bitcoin transaction happened, it get recorded in public ledger that goes into the blockchain, and it's called blockchain because all the blocks are connected to each other. So for instance, like nobody can delete that information. So when the transaction happen in Bitcoin, that transaction get recorded in blockchain forever. Like nobody can delete it and everybody has access over the transaction. Usually when somebody send money from one country to another country, there is always a middleman. Sometimes there are banks, sometimes there are certain apps who verify the information and then transfer the money to another country. And same as in Bitcoin, there is a middleman also, and those middlemen are called Bitcoin miners. So basically anybody can be a Bitcoin miner. They just need to download a software in a computer, and then when the transaction happens, when somebody transfer money from one country, let's say Canada to Australia, the transaction go to a Bitcoin miner, then they solve a complex algorithm like a mathematic problem. So like banks collect some transaction fees on a transfer, so and same like Bitcoin miners also collect some transaction fees, and in return they also get some value in Bitcoin as well. Now talking about the future of Bitcoin, and I personally think that more and more people are starting using Bitcoin, and I think in next 10 to 20 years the popularity of Bitcoin will increase over time, and more businesses, more consumers, they are accepting Bitcoin transactions. And even in the malls when we go, we can see that there are 2 to 3 Bitcoin machines where we can deposit our cash and then get Bitcoin in exchange as well. And personally, I think as financial literacy and digital currency grows in the economy, like people have more knowledge about the Bitcoin, the popularity and the use of Bitcoin will increase over time. And if you're a beginner in stock market, I'll say just stay away from the Bitcoin. And if you really want to invest in the Bitcoin, then just start buying small and then look for your risk tolerance. And thanks for watching this video, and I really hope that you understand the concept of Bitcoin and how it works in the real world.